This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Welcome back to another video here in Antigua, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most requested videos we should make here on the island. We're going to talk about costs.
Of course, you guys are probably wondering, how much does it actually cost to be here? So we're going to go through various things associated with, you know, what you're going to pay while you're here, but we're also rented a little car. We're going to make our way into some different spots around the island. So the place that we are staying is actually right behind us, and later in the video we will of course come back here, show you around, and talk about costs associated with accommodations here on the island.
Yeah, but more importantly, take a look at our ride today. We love this thing.
We're super excited about our car rental today. We actually tried to find one that was a little bit cheaper, but it seemed like most of them were sold out. It was a little bit of a needle in a haystack, but we came across a Suzuki Jimny, that's what they're called, I'm pretty sure. And it's the cutest thing ever. We've actually, so for those of you that don't know, we live in the Dominican Republic and we see these all over the place. And we always really wanted to try one out, so this is finally like a good little test.
Yeah, Xana said we've been eyeing these things in the DR. Look at this little ride. It's like a remake of the 80s Jimnys or Samurais. We love them.
Yeah, we do love them, and it's funny enough, we really wanted a blue one. I see there's one literally parked right there. We got silver, that's still fine.
I wonder if our keys will work in that one.
Maybe.
I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this at all, guys. Not the car, I like the vehicle, but I'm driving on the other side of the road again. Here we go again. Also, this time the wheel's on the right. So you guys might remember in Anguilla, the wheel was on the left, but I was driving on the left, so it was like a North American car setup. I found that easier already. My head is trying to divide, just stay on the left. That's what I keep telling myself, stay on the left, but I'm not a big fan. It's hard to do this when you're used to driving on the right, like your whole life.
I will say it's also really, really strange to be sitting on the left-hand side as a passenger. It's really, really bizarre. I know I've done this once before, but I just feel like I'm sitting totally in the wrong place in the car. But you guys are probably wondering, how much does it actually cost to rent this? So this is obviously not like your base model rental. This was, I think, 75 USD for a day. It gets a little bit cheaper if you rent for a week or a few days at a time, but we're only doing one day this time. You also need to purchase a local license on this island. You cannot drive with your regular license, but the rental company will provide that for you, and that was 20 USD.
I think the smaller cars too were about 50 or 60 bucks.
Yeah, I think I've actually found one that was 40. It was like a Kia Picanto or something like that, but they were all sold out. We just rented 2 days in advance. So if you're booking your vehicle months or even weeks in advance, you're probably gonna have a better selection.
Driving around this island is so much fun. There is so much to look at wherever you're going. Now we just come over to this place called Vintage Tea House and we ordered a bacon roll sandwich. Yes, a bacon roll sandwich. How British of us.
I know, we actually had these multiple times when we were recently or in the summertime in the UK, but it was fun to get it outside of the UK. There is a lot of influence here. Obviously this used to be a British colony, territory, whatever you want to refer to it. Now it's an independent country, but you see that influence here for sure.
Maybe it was a bacon buddy. I'm not sure. We still can't figure out what's a bacon roll sandwich versus a bacon buddy. But anyway, that sandwich was about 10 US dollars. So we're going to talk a little bit about prices in general here when it comes to food, huh? Yeah,
so I'd say food in general is on the expensive side. Obviously we live in the Dominican Republic. We find food there quite cheap. And then the last little while we've been to St. Martin, which was relatively expensive. Not as expensive as the next place we went to, which was Anguilla, which is definitely the most expensive out of all three, and now here.
So if we talk about drinks for a second, they're not so bad. So you can get a beer. We're going to talk in US dollars. So a beer sometimes around $5, give or take, like a glass of wine. I love that there's some European influence here in the British. That's not too expensive.
I'd say anywhere from $5 to $7 or so on average.
Yeah, so good old British people and Europeans helping to keep that price down for us Canadians and Americans, because we pay a lot for wine. But then when it comes to food, that's where they kind of get you.
Yeah, so I'd say when you're having a main dish at dinner time, expect to pay from the $20 to $30 range. A pizza, like an Italian pizza, is somewhere between $20 and $25, depending on the type of pizza you get. We had a pasta last night that we shared. It's a pretty basic pasta, and it was about $22.
The thing about that was a vegetarian pasta. So Keep in mind, prices for food are a little high, but if you guys are looking up this island, this country, you probably know that coming in. Before we get any further in today's video, we just wanted to say a huge thanks to Squarespace, our longtime partner, for being a sponsor once again.
Of course, you guys know how much we love Squarespace. We've been using them exclusively for many years, and we firmly believe they're the best website building platform in existence.
Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that helps you stand out and succeed online. You can easily build your very own website using their super customizable templates. They have something for everyone. Squarespace allows you to design and sell your very own custom merchandise. You just have to design your products, and then production, inventory, and shipping are handled for you.
Along with that, you can sell your own products on Squarespace by creating your own online store. Whether you sell digital, physical, or service products, Squarespace has the tools you need to start selling online.
Are you ready to build your own website? Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/delightfultravelers for 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website.
And a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and supporting creators like us.
All right, back to the vlog. Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room here, or outside, I should say. There's this giant tower.
Yeah, I know, coming to a little tea house. I did not expect there to be an old sugar mill right on the premise. This is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, look at this, like all of the stone. Now we're gonna have to try to find a sign or something to get the age of this, but this is crazy. There's also some stairs, so I'm wondering if there's a lookout, huh?
Oh, there must be something up there.
Look how steep these stairs are. Here, you guys, look at Anna down there. I don't even know if you can see her because it's so dark on that floor. But we're making our way up to the top now, and we got a view.
Well, this 360 view is really what it's all about. Definitely worth coming up just to see the view from here. I think we're actually headed over that way, are we not?
Yeah, we are going in that direction, but speaking of that, like, look at that little house, or no, that must be a motel.
I think there's like a retreat or something here. I saw a sign for a retreat, so maybe that's there.
Yeah, also you guys might be able to tell, like, the gardens are nice and groomed. You can see local houses that way. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
We're actually in a rainforest as well, which I didn't realize. I noticed there was a sign saying that we're in the local rainforest. We kind of could see that when we were driving, but didn't realize we're kind of still in it, I think.
The great thing about this place is it's actually free to come up here. We're talking about costs and how expensive the island is today, but if you just come to the tea house here and just order a tea or a little snack, you can kind of come up here, and it's definitely worth it. There's just 3 levels of stairs, and then you get this epic view. Man, this island so far, this country is pretty amazing, but now it's time to go to another place. Well, we've just come over to Nelson's Dockyard, and this place is beautiful. We're surrounded by these amazing colonial style buildings. Like, where are we right now?
Yeah, so this is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's really, really cool down here. I did not expect this. I thought maybe there'd be like one old building in a museum, but it's a whole like old Navy community. It's really, really interesting. This is a little fun little fact for you. It is the marina here is the only continuously working Georgian era dockyard in the world.
Yeah, we're going off our phones today because that's the easiest way to get some history when we're not like paying for a tour or anything like that. But you guys might be wondering about cell phones and pricing here in this country, so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
So when it comes to SIMs on these islands, we've actually been using eSIMs, and it's what we've been trying to do most of the time in the world when we travel. It's just way easier than having to find a place to buy a local SIM card. Usually you need some ID, your passport, everything. It usually takes a good half hour to get all signed up and everything working. So eSIMs generally are quite easy. They can once in a while be more expensive, which is the case here. We use Airalo most of the time. They still seem to be one of the best ones here, and we got 1 gig for $9.50.
That's probably one of the worst deals or highest price plans we've ever had.
Yeah, but it worked. I mean, it's only $9.50. It's easy to top up. And it's great just for like using the like Google Maps, so we could use that
Basic
to get
stuff.
here. Basic stuff, looking up some facts for you guys, but I can't like go on and watch reels or like if you don't want to be on TikTok using that little amount of data that you have.
One thing you can't do is be on Netflix or YouTube watching us. That's not going to work because you're going to go through your data really fast. But you guys, check out these yachts around here. So first of all, there's tons of boats. There's some mega super yachts around. It's absolutely wild. It's kind of neat because it's just right in the middle of where we're at right now. Like, you got this kind of UNESCO heritage site.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I did not expect a marina down here. Again, I did look this up, and the main thing that shows up is like I think the Admiral's house when you look at pictures. So I just kind of thought it was going to be like a little landing, an Admiral's house, and that's about it. But there's like all these crazy yachts around. It's really fun.
If there's anything we're learning about this island, people love to bring their yachts here and their regular boats as well.
Again, I'm really surprised, I know I'm gonna keep saying this, at how many things are here. Like we're going by the officers' quarters, they're from 1821. There's a whole bunch of restaurants and cafes in here as well. It's like a whole community basically. I think I saw there's like showers and laundry. Presumably that's for people that are staying on boats and need to, you know, use the facilities because they're getting off. Customs and immigration is also right here.
So if you're coming to Antigua, I think it's safe to say, you can probably tell that we highly recommend this place. We almost skipped over English Harbour in general, and this right here is in the middle of English Harbour, so we highly recommend it. Now, one thing we didn't do yet in this video is go to a beach, and yeah, we're gonna do that now. Well, you guys, let us officially welcome you to Pigeon Point Beach. This is another one of the 365 beaches, and this one is our kind of beach. Look how flat the water is. There's not many people here either. Not big waves. I love it because we're kind of in, it's almost like a harbor here. It's the other side of English Harbour, I believe.
Yeah, it's really not that far from the town. It was maybe like a 2-minute drive. Just kind of over a hill. It'd be a bit of a walk if you were walking here, but we drove over. And it's not an overly like developed beach. I think there might be like a restaurant on one side and maybe
yeah, but that's why we love it.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
And now I'm like, God, I wish we weren't driving around all day filming and we could just plunk our butts right here. We set up a spot in the shade, so this is going to do the trick.
So if you don't want to rent a car, there are a couple other ways to get around. One is that there are buses on this island. I'm not quite sure, like you guys might know that we're staying in Jolly Harbour. We took a bus the other day from Jolly Harbour to St. John's. It was about 20 minutes or so, maybe 25. A little confused about the price of it. Our hotel told us it was $275 ECs, and I read that online as well, which would be basically $1 USD. When we got on the bus, the people in front of us, who were also tourists, asked the driver how much it was. He told them 3 ECs. And then we gave him $1 when we were getting out, and he didn't say anything. When we came on the way back, the guy told us that it was $3 for 2 of us.
Yeah.
So I think maybe there's a little bit of a tourist tax.
Yeah, no, I know people right away are going to say it's only $1, stop talking about it. However, just know that it's actually just, we bring it up because it's a bit confusing.
Yeah,
right?
it's confusing because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be $1 USD. I think if you're going farther, the prices get increase a bit. So if you were coming from Jolly Harbour to English Harbour, right, both harbors, it probably costs more, and I'm also assuming there's a bus, but I can't say for certain because we didn't come that way. Taxis also quite expensive. We had actually asked a taxi driver how much it would be to come from Jolly Harbour here today, and she told us $40 one way. It would be USD.
So it made more sense to rent the car in this case.
Yeah.
Well, if you're wondering what this water is like, it's about as inviting as it looks. It's so warm, not cold at all. Not that I expected that it would be, but you guys, the beaches here, I might dare go and say it, that the beaches here in this country so far might be some of the most beautiful beaches we've seen. We've been seeing the beaches the whole drive so far. We just keep going past them and we're like, we need to go to that one, we need to go to that one. How do you pick?
Yeah, I think when we actually wrap this up, like this trip of 3 different islands, I think I might end up saying that this might have the best beaches. I don't know.
We see, like, the problem, we were in Anguilla, but what happened was we didn't have the weather.
Yeah, there was a storm right before we got there. It actually delayed us arriving because we couldn't get there. And the beaches that are normally, I think, like this, were super wavy. You couldn't even go in them. So it's probably a little bit of an unfair comparison, but 365 beaches here, so you can't go wrong.
You know, honestly guys, it just makes me want to rent a car for another day. We're just running out of days, but I'd love to go see some more beaches like this. I mean, this island, this country, you're gonna have to come here. I know it's a bit more pricey than other places, definitely more pricey than the DR where we're living, but it is worth it. Speaking of beaches, do you guys actually have a favorite beach on this island? There are, again, I'm gonna keep saying it, 365 beaches here, so there's a lot to choose from. So if you guys have a favorite, be it a really, really busy one that's beautiful, or maybe a little bit of a secret beach, maybe you don't want to let it go, but if you want to, leave it in the comments below. I'm sure we'll be back someday, but also just for people that are, you know, maybe coming here and they might want suggestions. That's a great idea. I love this beach. We were at Jolly Harbour the other day. It's a little more developed there. There are quite a few areas for loungers, and then there's one area that's pretty quiet, and there's also some hotels, I think, on that beach as well. We did ask about lounge chairs, and they were 20 to 25 for 2 loungers and an umbrella. There was one restaurant we went to, I think it was called Pop-Up Beach Bar, and they said if you're having lunch, you can come enjoy the loungers, but they're quite close together. So here it's kind of nice to just come for free, park for free, and then like hang out under the shade on the beach. Well, from one beautiful beach to another, we just popped over to a beach that's a little closer to where we're staying called Darkwood beach. I have no idea why it's called Darkwood Beach because there's no wood on this beach. It's only white sand once again. And do you sense like a common trend here? There's no people.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I know there probably were some cruise ships in today that have left, so I wonder if it was busier earlier in the day. It's now like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, as we kind of explore this island, guys, we're really starting to learn that because there's 365 beaches, everybody's spread out.
Yeah.
There's not a single beach here I've seen yet that's like just packed full of people, or you'd have to rush down and get loungers.
Yeah.
I mean, this island is chill, and I'm a big fan. We've found some chairs because there's all kinds of them. There's nobody around to really tell us the price, so we're just gonna sit down and see what happens. It's a little later in the day. So far, so good with the chairs here. I think we're crossing our fingers that no one comes over. There is something else we should point out, though. We noticed yesterday, or in the last video, I should say, when we were in the city, that a lot of people kept, when they saw us, I don't know, the fact that maybe we're slightly younger than, I guess, maybe regular cruise ship people, I don't know, but they kept asking us, or saying, Bob Marley, Bob Marley, Bob Marley.
Maybe they're just fans of Bob Marley.
Yeah, or they were wondering if we wanted something else, you know, some of those funny cigarettes. But the thing is, so far in this country, we keep smelling the funny tobacco in the air quite often.
Quite frequently, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to us where we're from in Canada. It's completely legal, so that's totally fine. But it's interesting here more than others, I would say.
Yeah, definitely more than the last few places that we've been, which is just interesting. I feel like there's more locals on this island where maybe fewer expats.
Yeah, we don't know the exact rules, but we did see a store, an actual official store that you could go in and buy some of that funny tobacco if that's what you're into. So just know that if you're coming here,
it's illegal though. I never actually looked it up.
Me
but
too.
I'm just going to assume it's not legal.
Yeah, the reason I'm not saying the actual word, I don't want, you know, to get a strike or anything from the old YouTube gods, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's just something we noticed. It's just interesting. I would have thought on this island, like, there'd be no way, like that would be the case, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We got the boot.
Yeah, I was hoping being late in the day they'd just be like, whatever, but nope, not so much.
Well, we did find out it's $20 a day to rent 2 chairs, 1 umbrella, so I guess that's not so bad.
Not too bad if you were here for the full day. I didn't ask how much it would be to do it now, but we're only going to be here for a short period, so it's not really worth it.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it might be a good time to get out of here because there are some dark clouds coming. But
they are coming this way too, aren't they?
Now, because we got the boot, we are going to call it a day. You guys might remember at the first of the video, we were standing in front of where we are staying, our apartment. So we're going to show you that, what you get for your money here, because you might be a little surprised. Remember we said it's not exactly a cheap island.
Yeah, so accommodations are definitely going to be your biggest cost when you come here, and we'll talk about that in the next scene. Welcome to Jolly Castle. This is where we've been staying. We're going to give you a little bit of a tour. We actually rented a full-on apartment, so it's not too small. We have a kitchen over here, full-size fridge. There's a funny little gas stove over here. It's like they decided at the last minute to put in the stove, so it just kind of...
This is, yeah, this is creative. Do we call it creative?
Sure, yeah. But it's got everything you need: coffee maker, toaster oven, like literally all the things. And then you walk around this way. There's actually 2 entrances to the main room.
So we have a queen-size bed back here. It's pretty comfortable. The room is spacious, so you'll see Anna back there. It's very yellow. One thing I like is there's lots of windows, but there's no way to hang the curtains curtains kind of over. We're kind of just jamming them into the corners of the windows. We got AC, so that's super important. Over here, you're gonna see a TV that we're never gonna use. We got a little office desk set up with the blanket. We're trying to make it as comfortable as we can.
Over on this side of the room, we actually have a little sofa, but we've been using it just to throw all our stuff on. There's some luggage there.
This looks pretty lived in. Apologies to everyone, but this is the reality of us traveling quickly.
Yes, and over here I have my suitcase. There is a closet there as well, and then the bathroom is right behind Trevor.
All right, let's take you guys into the bathroom. We have random towels, and you gotta watch this rack because I keep hitting my head. You might be able to see that. We got the sink, toilet, and a shower. So I'd say this is, I mean, it's pretty modest.
It's definitely not a luxury accommodation by any means. There's no real amenities. It's not like a pool or anything, but the big thing, the thing we love about this place is the location. We're about a 5-minute walk from Jolly Beach, which is amazing. And the marina is literally right next to us. There's a supermarket that's like a minute walk from here, and like a whole bunch of restaurants. So really, that's why we picked this place, was because so that we could like walk everywhere.
What about the price?
Okay, so this was, I think, $150 US per night, Of course, you know, if you're booking in different seasons, if you book in advance, maybe you get a better deal. This was one of the cheapest places I could find, unless we wanted to be right in the city of St. John's, like far away from all the beaches and not close to anything. But hotels here are so expensive. I tried looking at a bunch of hotels. I feel like most of them are a good $400, $500 US a night and up.
So we hope the video today has given you guys some insight into the costs, like what it costs to come here. We tried to cover everything we can on like a vacation style visit. We were here for close to a week, so
yeah, 6 days.
Yeah, we didn't get into groceries. We know that. If any locals are watching, feel free to talk about grocery costs. But when you're here for a week, you're not kind of stocking up your whole kitchen.
Yeah, we ate out every night. We didn't buy many groceries other than just a few drinks and like water and that kind of thing. But in general, we didn't do a whole lot of grocery shopping.
Yeah, so if you're new around here, it's Trevor and Anna, Delightful Travelers. Hello, thanks for watching. If you're not new, we love when you guys come back. For everyone that's been asking, you might be excited because next we are going back to the good old DR, the Dominican Republic. Here we come, we're going back. That's where we live after all, so.
Yeah, we're gonna be spending some time in some other places, so we're landing in Santo Domingo, so we figured let's take advantage of being in the big city.
Yeah.
And we're gonna spend a few days there, explore some areas we've never been to. The plan is to do at least one video there, I think.
I'd say one, and then we're going to Los Terranes for a little while, and eventually we'll make our way back to Cabarete, so it's gonna be so much fun. Thanks for watching the Caribbean series. Lots more coming up from the DR down here in the Caribbean still. It's gonna be so much fun.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Antigua, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.